ito yung comparison of the provisions, no, of yung sa kaliwa, sa left column, yung adultery, yung concubinage is sa kanan, no. 333, adultery, who are guilty of adultery. Adultery is committed by any married woman. So yung principal offender dito is a married woman who shall have sexual intercourse with a man not her husband, and by the man who has carnal knowledge of her, knowing her to be married, even if the marriage be subsequently declared void. Yan yung pinaka-basic na definition ng adultery. Yung second and third paragraphs po, no? Ang second paragraph talks about the penalty. The third paragraph talks about the mitigating circumstance in adultery. Yung concubinage naman, ito yung provision ng concubinage. Magkasunod lang sila sa RPC, no? Article 334, concubinage, any husband. So, makikita nyo na yung principal offender ng concubinage is yung husband, no? Any husband who shall keep a mistress in the conjugal dwelling, first way of committing concubinage, or shall have sexual intercourse under scandalous circumstances with a woman who is not his wife, or shall cohabit with her in any other place, shall be punished by prison correctional minimum and medium. Like what I said a while ago, the concubine, ito yung penalty for the concubine. The concubine shall suffer the penalty of distierro. Pag nag-aral kayo ng batas po, especially mga penal laws, dapat for every penal provision, they are governed, or it is governed by elements, no, elements of the crime. So ito yung elements of the crime of adultery. Ito naman yung elements of the crime of concubinage. First element of adultery, that the woman is married. Okay? Compared it with the concubinage, the principal offender is the married husband, no? Of course, the man must be married. And then sa second element of adultery, that she has sexual intercourse with a man, not her husband. Take note po, in the crime of adultery, the mere sexual intercourse by the married woman with a man who is not her husband constitutes the crime of adultery na po, no? Each and every sexual intercourse by the married woman with a man who is not her husband constitutes a separate act of adultery. But tingnan nyo yung element ng concubinage. Second element, that he committed any of the following acts: keeping a mistress in the conjugal dwelling. That's one way of committing the crime of concubinage. Second, having sexual intercourse under scandalous circumstances with a woman who is not his wife. Again, you can readily notice, no, na itong isa sa adultery, mere sexual intercourse. Pero ito namang sa concubinage, take note of the adjective, sexual intercourse under scandalous circumstances, which is not the case with adultery. So magkaiba na, no? And then third way of committing concubinage, cohabiting with the mistress in any other place. And then third element, with respect to the ang tawag kasi ng lalaking kabit, no, in the case of a married woman is a paramour. For the married man naman, ang tawag sa mistress niya is concubine. So for the third element, that as regards the man with whom she has sexual intercourse, he must know her to be married. So dapat yung lalaking kasiping ng married woman, dapat prior to the sexual act, alam na niya na married yung babae. And kahit married yung babae, nakigsiping pa rin siya. And for that reason, he will also be charged and be held liable for the crime of adultery. So, hindi lang po babae yung offender ng adultery, pati na yung paramour niya. Provided yung paramour niya knows her to be married prior to engaging with in sexual intercourse with her. So, yan po ang requirement dyan. Why is it po na dapat alam ng lalaki na married yung babae? The reason is because yung mga felonies po under the revised penal code, except for culpable felonies, yung mga intentional felonies po under the revised penal code, good faith is a defense. So kung ma-prove ng lalaki na hindi niya alam na married pala yung babae, then he will be exculpated from criminal liability. And the same goes for the concubine in the crime of concubinage, no? That as regards the woman, she must know him to be married also. So same lang po yung meaning ng third element for both adultery and concubinage. the mere act of sexual intercourse is enough to constitute adultery, but not so with concubinage. And if you notice po, no, bakit kaya mas mataas yung penalty for adultery compared to concubinage? Balikan natin yung penalty muna. Let us determine yung rationale kung bakit mas mataas yung penalty sa adultery kaysa sa concubinage, no? For adultery, ito yung punishment. Adultery shall be punished by prison correctional, medium, and maximum. Ano ba yung penalty of prison correctional? 6 months and 1 day to 6 years po ang penalty na prison correctional, no? Meron siyang range. So, when you say prison correctional minimum, ang range niyan is 6 months and 1 day to 2 years and 4 months. Tapos kung prison correctional medium naman, 2 years, 4 months, and 1 day to 4 years and 2 months. And then for prison correctional maximum naman, 4 years, 2 months, and 1 day to 6 years. Meron siyang range because ang reason dyan is for purposes of applying the indeterminate sentence law. But hindi pa ho sakop natin yan, no? Kasi baka malito lang kayo pag nag-discuss ako ng indeterminate sentence law in another setting na lang po. So, compare that with concubinage. Mas maliit, no? Prison correctional, minimum and medium lang. Compared sa adultery, medium and maximum. Bakit kaya? Let us imagine na kayo yung mga estudyante ko. Sino dito ang makakapagbigay ng rationale bakit mas mataas yung penalty for the crime of adultery? Although sabi ni May Pag-asa, sexist ang batas. But sige, anyone other than May Pag-asa, sino? Wala. Ang graded recitation ito, 0 na. Itong isang estudyante, si Toyang, sabi niya, considered a more serious breach of marital fidelity in Filipino culture and law. Good try, good try. Oh, gender bias, parehas sila ni May Pag-asa. Anyone? Suko na? 0 na lahat? Wala na. Sa recitation pa lang, 0 na. I'll give the answer na lang kasi walang nakasagot. Ang reason dyan is, can you just imagine na kung ang babae yung manglalaki tapos mabuntis siya, she will introduce a spurious child to the family na pwedeng hindi alam ng husband niya. Yan ang danger dyan, no? Pag nabuntis yung babae, yung offender, yung married woman, in the crime of adultery, she might introduce a child into the family without the knowledge of the husband and the siblings of the child. Whereas kung ang lalaki yung mamababae, tapos makabuntis siya, then sigurado na hindi siya makaka-introduce ng bata sa loob ng pamilya. Because hindi naman siya ang mabubuntis, di ba? Yung babae. So, yan ang reason dun kung bakit mas mataas ang penalty to discourage married women from committing the crime of adultery.